Hey, what's going on everyone? Nick here with my review for The Mandalorian Episode 2. So we're obviously going to be kind of diving into some spoilers that happen in this episode, so if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out and come back and we can discuss. So without further ado, here we go. The episode starts off right where we left in Chapter 1, where the Mandalorian now has the mysterious child, which many of us believe to be a member of Yoda's species, or perhaps, like we discussed in the previous theory video, it could be a clone of Yoda himself. And essentially the two of them are heading back to his ship. They have to go on foot back through all the canyons and stuff, and they get attacked by some rival bounty hunters who are also after the kid. The interesting thing about his other rivals is that they seemingly want to kill the kid rather than bring him in alive. When he finally arrives back at his ship, however, he witnesses Jawas stripping it for parts. A fight ensues and he's ultimately not able to get his parts back as they escape in their sand crawler. After this, he goes to get help from Nick Nolte's Ugnaughts, who takes him back to the Jawas to help trade with them to get his parts back. After some haggling, they agree to give him all of his ship parts back in exchange for a mudhorn egg. At the time, the Mandalorian doesn't really know what he's getting himself into, but his fight with the mudhorn to get the egg does not go well. At the last moment, right before he's about to get killed by the creature, the baby saves him by using the Force on the beast. On their way back, the Mandalorian discusses with the Ugnaught. They don't know what really happened and they're kind of in awe of the baby at this point. Both of them work overnight to repair his ship, and then he's able to leave and presumably head back to the client with the baby in tow. So overall, I actually did enjoy this episode a little bit more than the first one, which is a little bit surprising, and I have seen people online saying that they didn't really like this episode because it just felt like filler or something. But in my opinion, it was actually pretty important character development. You got a bit more of the bond between the baby and the Mandalorian himself, and we also got to see some pretty cool exploration of the Jawas, and I really did enjoy how the show used practical Jawas and how the baby is also a little puppet as well. I think another cool aspect of the show is that while the Mandalorian himself is proficient, he's a skilled bounty hunter, he isn't perfect, and as we saw in the fight with his mudhorn, he almost died, so it proves that he's not invulnerable. All in all, I had a great time with this episode, and the fact that the baby did use the Force kinda leads me to believe the whole theory that it might be a clone of Yoda himself, as in the previous video we discussed that the Dr. Pershing that interrupts their meeting with the client in episode 1 actually bears the insignia of an officer from Kamino, or a scientist. So perhaps the Empire, or the remnants of the Empire, or the beginnings of the First Order here, which are led by Werner Herzog's character, the client, want to get the baby to help study for cloning and things like that. Maybe they have some sort of like a secret Force user cloning program going on. We don't really know. I'm sure all of that will be explained and revealed over the rest of the season. But overall, I really did enjoy this episode. Can't wait to see the next one. I've heard that there's a lot of action and stuff because things kind of come to a head. I guess they screened the first 3 episodes and a lot of people said that 2 and 3 were pretty awesome and action packed. So drop your thoughts down in the comments below. What did you guys think of this episode, and who are your favorite characters thus far? I really like Nick Nolte's Ugnaught. It's kind of a shame that he's seemingly been left behind on whatever planet the Mandalorian went to, and he might not appear in the rest of the season, but we'll just have to wait and see. And the baby is really interesting too, the child as they call it in the show. There's a lot of intriguing questions around it, but like I said, post your thoughts down below. For all things Star Wars and the latest in pop culture, be sure to subscribe to HN Entertainment.